Welcome to another video. This is JC Diaz. I hope you're all having a great night today's show. I want to talk about something that it hit me hard today. Today is one of those days where you know how when you're having one of those days that everything feels like empty. When you get some news that it's like they hit you in the face. You get some bad news and you you don't know how to react. You feel empty. That's what I want to talk about today. I got bad news today, and I feel like I've been hit in the face pretty much. But let's go ahead and start the show, and I'll be right back with you guys. And we are back. Thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you to my subscribers. Today, I received bad news. I received a message from my friend John Smith. And his message was, hey, do you know that Mark Davis passed away? When he said that, I felt like, when you, I don't know, there are some days that you wake up and you feel like you can't breathe. That day just doesn't feel right. But that's how I feel. Like once he told me Mark Davis had passed away, it was like if somebody had punched me in the gut, in my stomach. Back in 2013, I moved from Massachusetts down to Florida. And after working close to 2.5 years, me and John as cable contractors for the local cable company in Florida, I applied first, and I went to apply for the actual company, not as a contractor, but working directly for that company, right? And at that time, I met Mark Davis. He was one of the supervisors for that company, and Mark Davis had been with that company for a long time. And Mark was really funny. Mark Davis was the type of guy that, we went through our classroom, because when you first get hired with directly working for the company, you have to go through a class that lasts about a month. And, he was one of the first ones to welcome all of us. He was really funny. He was really welcoming to all of us. At that time, Mark Davis was someone who helped me out a lot, because I was trying to find myself in a new skill, because I was pretty much brand new doing that type of job. And Mark was one of the people that helped me out a lot. And he used to say, he had this saying that I still remember, like if it was right now. He always used to say, if you need me, I'll call you. And we all used to laugh about that. But what's crazy is that even though he was joking, there was no time that I would call Mark Davis whenever I needed help, and Mark Davis will answer that phone. And yeah, here and there he would throw a tantrum and say, "Ha, you again? Why are you calling me again?" But he never refused to help me. That's the type of guy that Mark Davis was. He never refused to help me. He used to throw a tantrum, and then he would say, okay, this is what you need to do, and this, and that. And man, those were the days. Mark Davis was the type of guy that when he talked, you listen. Because, like some people, they just have it. they have something about them. They have this aura that, for example, President Obama, whenever President Obama goes to a podcast or goes to a TV show or is talking about something, people stop to listen. Well, that's kind of like how Mark Davis was. Mark Davis was really smart. This guy was really smart. And whenever he was talking, I would listen because, I was trying to find my way in that new job, and he was one of the guys that he knew his stuff. He knew he was really smart, and he was one of the guys that when he talked, you listen because he was really, really, really smart guy. But we live this life. We spend our whole lives chasing money. We spend our whole lives chasing fame. We spend our whole lives worrying about what are we gonna do next. And we are all on borrowed time. Like we are literally on this earth on borrowed time. And some people come to your life and they leave a mark. Even if you don't talk to that person anymore, they will leave a mark for the rest of your life. And Mark Davis is one of those people who left a mark in my life because he, with his willingness to help me whenever possible, he left a mark in my life of me trying to get better because I saw him as an example. And he was one of those guys that he was always there. If you haven't called your family lately, if you haven't called your loved ones, just pick up the phone and call them. And because we're here on borrowed time. And I also want to apologize, to anybody that I've hurt in the past. I want to apologize because, we never know. I might be here today, but I never know if I'm not going to be here tomorrow. And I don't want to go and not say I'm sorry, to those people that I've hurt in the past. If I hurt anybody, I do apologize. But if you have somebody that you treated badly in the past, or if you have somebody that you argue with in the past, or if you have a family member that you're not talking to, just pick up the phone and call them. Even if they don't want to talk to you, you call them. If they don't want to talk to you, that's fine. At least you make the effort and you call them. And that way you will feel, I promise you will feel a little better. I got done in that cable company in Florida when I was working. Back in 2018, I went to work for a new place. And since then, I haven't been in touch with Mark because we were not really close. We were not friends. But I never forgot Mark. Never forgot Mark Davis because Mark Davis left a mark in my life because Mark Davis was the type of guy that was always able to help. He was always willing to help. And that taught me a lot. And I've been sometimes selfish because sometimes especially back in the day when I was younger, I would get upset whenever I had to help somebody. But that was back when I was immature. I've changed. I'm an older person. I'm wiser, and thanks to Mark Davis, he was one of those guys that taught me, you have to be able to help people because we are here on this earth on borrowed time. And I wanted to say, rest in peace, Mark Davis. Rest in peace. You will be missed. You will be missed. You will definitely be in my heart. You left a mark in my life. At one point in my life when I was younger and I was trying to find myself, you did. You were one of those people who always helped me out. You never said no. And I will never forget when you used to tell us, if you need me, I'll call you. But guess what? Every time I call you, you always answer that phone, man. Thank you from my heart. And rest in peace. I just felt like I needed to do this video and talk about Mark Davis, an awesome human being, and he's gone. He was suffering from cancer, and he's gone, you know, to the arms of the Lord. I know he's there because Mark was a really great person. Mark was a really, really great person. RIP, rest in peace, Mark Davis. You will be missed. And I dedicate today's video to you. I know you're listening, wherever you are, you know. Mark Davis, rest in peace. I know you're listening. Thank you for all your knowledge. Thank you for your teachings, the stuff you taught me while I was at Spectrum working. Thank you so much. And I dedicate this show to you. And again, if you guys, you know, if you have someone you haven't talked to in a long time, someone who did something bad to you, who did something wrong, just call them. Even just send them a text and say, hey, you know, even if you don't want to talk to me, I want to say I'm sorry. And, you know, we got to move on from that because we are here on borrowed time. We are here trying to chase fame. We are here trying to chase money, you know, trying to chase rich and famous. And at the end of the day, all this is going to stay. And we're only here on borrowed time. At the end of the day, all of this will stay and will be gone. So thank you, Mark Davis, for being an amazing human. Go and rest in peace. Go and be with the Lord. You will be missed. I know you will be missed because just same like me, there are a lot of people that you were really good to. You were a really great person. Shout out to my friends, you know, John Smith, Carlos, Irizarry, Robert, you know, all those guys. Shout out to all the guys that I used to work with in that company. And you know, my condolences to Mark Davis's family. My condolences. Rest in peace, Mark Davis. You know, you will be missed. I'll leave this right here, guys. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you on the next video. This one is for you, Mark. This one is for you. Rest in peace.